How do you know when someone is good to share with / how do you do it without feeling like you are trauma dumping? Yes. That was partially a submitted question as well.
Love that. Mm-hmm. You tell me.
Oh, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, in my experience, I find it most helpful when someone is obviously like a Christian as well.
Yeah.
I think that that's a good foundation for me. As well as, I don't know, when I trust someone, it means that like they've been vulnerable with me as well. And I found that that is something that would make me lean towards one person over another. And also, I don't know, I feel like it sounds weird saying this, but like if you say something small to someone and then it gets around very easily, that is like obviously a big no-no.
Taylor, that is not weird.
Okay,
that is actually brilliant.
Okay, because I didn't want to make it seem like planting a seed to see if they like.
There is part of that,
but kind of at the same time. And then, well, you feel like, oh, like I can trust this person with this small thing. Maybe I can trust them with this, which has been like a burden for a while. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of how I would go about it. Is if someone who has had like proven history of keeping promises, and I've been able to share smaller things with, that is someone that I would go to first with any larger pieces of my life.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I mean, trust is one of those tricky things because you have to do it to find it. You have to do it to get it. Like you can't, like when people say like, how do I know when I can trust somebody? You just have to do it, which like kind of sucks, right? So I love what you said, Taylor, about that. That you can like try it with little things. But I mean, the second part of that question I think is very interesting. How do you do it without feeling like you're trauma dumping? I think that if you are sharing with the right person, someone who is actually in your corner, they like it won't feel like that, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're gonna know you. It's not like they're just meeting you for the first time. And to be able to preface it to like say like, hey, like this is something that's really been bothering me, right? Like, or even like if it's in reaction to like your sermon on Sunday, just say, hey, like since the sermon on Sunday, like I've been really thinking about my trauma, and this is how it affected. This is something that I maybe haven't shared with somebody else, right? And like I don't know about anybody who is listening, but if somebody was to share that with me, I would not feel like they're trauma dumping. No. Are you kidding me? Like I would be like, wow, like this person trusts me with like the deepest, darkest things. Like that is an honor, right? And so I think that it really has to do with the person you're choosing. And so like, I think that's probably key to both of these pieces, right? Like you have to pick the person well and not try to rush into it. Because like if you pick the first person and then share your whole deepest traumas, like that's probably not a good idea.
I love what you guys said. Like, I think trauma dumping can be very much prevented by what you said, Taylor, the two-way thing. Like I'm listening
back and forth
and I'm talking, but then the idea of, I have a really, really close friend who has lots of friends, like lots of people who would gladly listen. But for her, she felt like she wanted to go to a counselor.
Right.
Because she's someone who puts other people first all the time and found it so difficult to actually go, but I'm actually hurting. I need to exert my personhood, so to speak.
Right.
And so for her, counseling was what she needed to do, and it's been a massive blessing in her life.
That's so good. I think that raises a good point too, that I think that there's different relationships that serve different purposes for that like thing, right? For sharing trauma. Like if you're going to a counselor, that's going to be very actionable in the sense like it's going to help you work through it. Whereas with a friend, it might just be for the purpose of being like opening up to somebody or letting a part of yourself out there that maybe hasn't been seen before. Because
and all joking aside, you guys, like if you're watching this right now or listening to it and you're at all a part of the Southside community, I think small group is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Only because when you have people in your life who love you and love Jesus, hopefully they're at the point where they're actually able to will the good of the other. Yeah. So they're not in a conversation wondering what's in it for them. They're literally in it for you.
Totally.
And that can be, and so if you're not, I would just say like, I don't want to make this like a big push or anything on here, but it's definitely something to think about. Like connection
100%,
is massive.
100%. I do think that that alone would prove whether or not you can trust them a little bit as well. Or like we actually talked about it at Young Adults yesterday, which if you want a young adult small group, a little plug there. But we were just talking about consistency, and I talked about how in order for you to find belonging and actually achieve what we like talk about or what you're hoping for, like you actually need to have consistency in a few places, consistency in presence, so like showing up and being there, and consistency in vulnerability or authenticity. So being really true to who you are, and then consistency and growth. And I think if you can identify those three things in somebody else and say, hey, like I've seen you as someone who's consistently showing up in my life, consistently actually true to your word, consistent to who you are, and consistent in vulnerability with me, and I see that you're actually willing to grow, I think that will probably be a pretty safe bet for somebody who you could share with. So
and then
I think
go ahead.
Also one, like to the second part of that question, talking about like the trauma dumping. I know for me, I'm someone who like doesn't like to share feelings at all.
Right.
So sharing anything at all can kind of feel like trauma dumping. And I don't know, I just thought that is like it's a fear. Like, if I had like something on my mind, but I don't enjoy sharing, and then I share like something small, it can feel like, oh, like I'm trauma dumping like on this person. Like this is so bad. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to encourage anybody who's similar to that, to don't like hide behind,
Love that,
I'm
Taylor.
trauma dumping,
Right.
To stop you from just sharing something that would actually be very, very helpful to share. So yeah, I know I just found that in my own life that I could definitely hide behind the idea like, oh, like why would they want to hear this? Or this like doesn't really like,
which is so illogical, Taylor, because if I walk up to you and I say to you, hey man, like, do you have a second? I just want to share something with you.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Do you ever feel like, oh, you gotta be kidding me, man.
Again,
like,
Mike? Are you kidding me?
It's more like, wow, yeah, for sure. So we need to give that same grace to ourselves when talking to other people.
Yeah, no, that's really good.